Over the years in Stranger Things, fans like myself have made a multitude of theories about each season, especially recently with the release of season 4, and with that has come a lot of videos about these theories. But one video in particular that I ran across earlier this week caught my eye unlike any other theory that I've ever heard. Now if you're new here, those words that I just said mean a lot because I've made over 100 in-depth research and thought out theories about this amazing masterpiece of a show called Stranger Things, and that is not a joke sadly. But this unsolved mystery might be the craziest one I've ever seen. Before I explain this insane mystery that just had me mind boggled when I was listening to it, I was literally just freaking out listening to it on TikTok. I just want to let you guys know that this is not my theory. I got this theory from connect_dots7 on TikTok. I don't know if they made this theory, but it seemed like they did, so I'm giving them credit. But yeah. Before we get into it, guys, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, join my Discord where we talk Stranger Things every single day. And also, I want to mention this. Before I explain this theory, because this is one of those far-fetched theories. But when the Duffers said everything on screen matters, they meant it. I know a lot of people say that I give the Duffers too much credit. I say they do things that maybe they haven't done, maybe they did it on accident. But trust me, guys, the things that I say wouldn't be possible if the Duffers didn't put it in the show. Like, I'm not just making stuff up. I mean, maybe there's a few cases where I made some stuff up that just happened to be like coincidences or whatever. But most of the time, it's because the Duffers intentionally put it in the show. Now, with that being said, let me explain this unsolved mystery that might be the craziest thing, theory, whatever you want to call it, I've ever seen in any show. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Make sure to subscribe and enjoy. We're gonna call it the 8:15 theory. Now you might be wondering how a time has anything to do with the show. Trust me, I was wondering the same thing, just bear with me. To start out the theory, the first thing that really stood out was in season 1, episode 1, the first ever episode of Stranger Things. When Karen calls down to Mike, she says it's 15 after. And later on in the show, Joyce called Karen to ask where Will was, so Karen replied, he left a little after 8, which tells us he left around 8:15. Suspicious, right? Well, that's not all. A few minutes later in the episode, at exactly the 8:15 timestamp, Will Byers disappeared, right when it hit 8:15. So right away, just based off the first episode, this theory is already getting intense, but trust me, it does not even get close to stopping there. At the start of season 2, at the 8:15 mark, Will sensed the mind flare at that exact time once again. So the beginning episodes of seasons 1 and 2 had a very obvious moments at the timestamp, but if you go back and look at different episodes, a lot of them had foreshadowings and other interesting details and events that happened at that time. So with that being said, I'm gonna go through the ones that stood out to me the most, and there's a lot of them. In season 1, episode 3 at the 8:15 mark, Lucas said, I'm going to shoot it in the eye, which was a foreshadow at the end of the finale. In season 2, episode 3, Dustin at the 8:15 mark grabbed a book about polywogs, which is obviously what he called the Demogorgon. In season 2, episode 6, there is a more significant moment at the 8:15 mark where Murray calls out Jonathan and Nancy on their lie because they were more than just friends at the time. And the thing that's crazy is that for that specific moment, there's actually a dedicated song on the season 2 soundtrack called The First Lie, which is very fascinating. In season 2, episode 7, at, you guessed it, the 8:15 mark, 11 first spots 8's hideout. And now in season 3, episode 1, this is where I completely got convinced. Because Dustin was saying to himself in the radio, welcome home, when he suddenly got interrupted by a Russian message that said, the silver feeds the cat when blue meets yellow in the west, which obviously was one of the biggest storylines in season 3. Now this one's kind of far-fetched, but it's worth mentioning. In season 3, episode 2, this one was 8 minutes and 15 seconds before the episode ended. It was exactly 8 o'clock in the show, and Steve was putting a quarter in the horse in the mall, and a quarter past 8 is literally 8:15, which is insane. In season 3, episode 4, this one is also extremely interesting because it's when the boys were playing the D&D game and Lucas and Mike were not interested at all, but Will was insisting and asked them at the 8:15 mark, are you guys willing to sacrifice yourself and become heroes? Which obviously could be foreshadowing Lucas and Mike sacrificing themselves at the end of the show. In the season 3 finale, at the 1 hour, 8 minutes and 15 second mark, Heroes by David Bowie's started playing. In season 4, episode 4, Joyce was on the phone with Murray at the 8:15 mark, and Murray was saying there are a few things you can be late to, and one is a 1-year-old child's birthday party, which could be a hint confirming that the Duffers didn't actually forget Will's birthday, they just intentionally missed it. In season 4, episode 6, Elle enters the pod to restore her lost memories at the 8:15 mark. Now, There are way more moments in the show that you guys can go find yourself, but these are the ones that I personally thought were pretty important. And I know some of you guys are probably still thinking that this is still unlikely, but I'm here to tell you that you are wrong. Because on the Season 2 soundtrack, there is literally a song called 8:15. I mean, come on. How much more evidence do you need? Not only that, but the tweet that you're seeing on the screen right now was tweeted out one day before Stranger Things Day this past fall, and it's obviously referencing 815. And to confirm it even more, in Season 2, Episode 1, whenever Elle was revealed to be living with Hopper, she says, "You said you would be home at 815. And then Hopper responded, "It's 8:15. Not 815. So I think at this point we can all agree that this theory means something, which brings me to my final point. I will make it my mission to try and solve this theory and to try to find out what it means over the next coming days, weeks, or months, however long it takes. I already think it's confirmed that the Duffers used 815 to place foreshadows throughout the show, which seems to be 100% true, but it also could very well be possible that this 815 could mean something even more important. If you guys have any theories yourself, please drop them down in the comments or DM me on Instagram, Twitter, or Discord, which you can find in the description. What did I tell you guys? This theory is insane. And I think we can agree that it's 100% sure that the Duffers used the 8:15 timestamp to place foreshadows, but I definitely still think that this could mean more than just foreshadows at certain points in the show. And there's definitely more that you guys can probably go search for, like the ones that were like 8 minutes and 15 seconds before the episode was ending. I didn't look at a lot of those, but I know the person who made this theory had a lot of those in there. So yeah, there's definitely probably more, but I still think there's more. I still think that there's more to this theory. And we can probably use this timestamp to find out what's going to happen in season 5, to be honest with you. If they were really taking it this serious, which it seems like they were, because there's no way this whole thing is coincidence. They literally have a song on the soundtrack called 8:15. They mentioned the show multiple times. They tweeted it out before Stranger Things Day. So this definitely means something, guys, like 100%. So if you guys are sitting there being like, oh, this is just a coincidence, the Duffers don't do stuff that, the Duffers aren't this smart. Yes, they are. There's a reason that Stranger Things is considered one of the best shows of all time. Whether you think that or not, it's a fact. Like on Netflix, it's literally like the biggest show in Netflix history. That does not happen on accident, people. Anyways, yeah, this was by far my favorite theory I've ever heard, or like one of the most interesting ones at least. And I really enjoyed making it or reading it, whatever, and explaining it. But I do think there's more to it. With that being said, I appreciate you guys watching this video to the end, obviously, because you're right here. I just want to let you guys know that I do have a Discord where I discuss TV shows and theories and all that stuff in the comments. I'm active on Twitter and Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube every single day. I post on all socials every single day, so make sure to go follow those. Make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm going to try to post weekly over here. But yeah, make sure you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.